This week we'll be going over the Gunless achievement in Modern Warfare 2. This one's going to be for going through the entire alone mission in Modern Warfare without ever firing a gun, and that can be pretty tough to do, especially if you're like me and you do it on Veteran. And now, let's get to hunting. The alone mission is one where you'll be alone, without a gun, and have to sneak your way through the city while picking up materials to craft homemade tools and take out your enemies. You can do it on Recruit to make it a little bit easier, but I did it on Veteran during my Veteran run, so my pathing and strategy should work for you as well if you're doing that. Starting out, you'll be moving between buildings and through alleyways, avoiding enemies entirely as you have no weapons and need to avoid being caught in order to survive. You'll come down this alley, into this building, and loot up so you can make a pry tool to proceed. That's essentially what you have to do for a lot of the beginning of this chapter, so just kinda keep repeating that until you get further along. You'll end up navigating through these apartments or houses or whatever as Graves' men are searching through them for you. Once you get up to this area here with the fountain, we have our first semi-tough area, which can actually be pretty easy as long as you know the steps that you should take to get through it. First, we need to sneak past this first guard here to get into the buildings and alleys up here by throwing a bottle before running by. One thing you'll want to do quickly is have a knife of some kind, which you can either make a glass shiv or just pick up a knife like this one over here. Just navigate through the alleys this way and you can loot this body to take the knife out of him, then you're free to go take down some guards. This one in the alley alone over here, which would be on the left as you're coming in, is pretty easy to take at first, and then I'd go back over to the one in the front and do the same thing to him. Just throw bottles to distract them and then take them down. Now you'll want to be gathering materials all throughout these buildings so that you can craft a few homemade mines. In order to deal with the group of a few enemies down in the alley where we need to go, we're going to drop down a couple of mines spaced out so that they won't blow each other up. Then we'll throw a bottle to lure them over and listen as our traps blow up, taking them out. Now we can proceed through this area and up to the next couple of buildings for more resource gathering. There's one building with a shotgun trap you'll need to move around to disarm. What you'll generally want to be crafting at this point is a lot of mines and a few smoke grenades to prepare for what's one of the harder parts of this chapter. Once you drop off of this balcony, you'll be at that tough area where you'll basically just want to go over to the right side and get under these large trucks. You can then throw mines out from under it off to the sides and lure enemies over. Then just kinda keep repeating that a few times to take out enemies until you think it's safe enough for you to run further over to the right and into this little alley area. If you left a few alive, they may walk through and you can try to take them out with your knife. If you do have them following you, the spot in the dark by the dumpster is a pretty good hiding spot where the AI won't really find you, so you can catch your breath before taking them out. You'll definitely want to continue crafting mines, smoke grenades, and once you're able to, some Molotovs. And just head down this right side of the map through the tunnel and into the building right here. You can go up the stairs and then just kind of keep an eye out for anyone wandering up behind you up the stairs, and if they do, you can sneak around behind them to take them out, because this hole upstairs is just kind of a big circle. While up here, you can drop mines off the balcony to kill the enemies below and clear that area out a little bit before proceeding through. And then once it's semi-safe, you can run the rest of the way up here to the next area where you'll get a little bit of time to breathe before going down into the water for a pretty simple area to get through. Basically, you'll want to swim underwater up to the spots where you can stop and catch your breath for a second between each group of enemies. Once you get all the way back here, you can come back to the back, then swim up behind this enemy and take them down before running up the stairs to the surface. You'll run over to this building and loot up before trying to go through this door and go into a cutscene. Ghost will take care of them, and then you can run and duck into cover up to this truck. Then to this truck, and finally over to this alleyway. Then this next part is going to be very dependent on how the AI acts for you, but you'll essentially just want to go between the alley and this hallway and throw mines and Molotovs to take out as many of the enemies as you can. Once you can try to push through the left side of the building, you can try to make your way up to the street and toss smoke bombs to sprint over to the gate where Ghost will be. Once up there, it starts another cutscene before you'll have to run back the way you came to try to get to a truck. and you can pretty much run all the way to your right, back the way we came, and hide behind this truck just fine. Then you'll want to carefully move down the street this way and avoid being out in the open where enemies are. Once you can get up to the buildings on your right and go down into them, you're going to want to run inside and navigate your way through those further up to the end where the alleyway that we entered in from earlier is. And at this point, you just have to run all the way down to the street so that you can get into this truck and get away using that. Once you hit the handle and you get in, you're done and have gotten the Gunless achievement. Now, be sure to check out my playlist for my other Modern Warfare 2 achievement guides or whichever one of my videos YouTube recommends.